became so full of love through your heart as a result of serving others, which I think is a testimony to how powerful you really are.
Thank you. You know, when you said that, it just came to my mind that over the years, but this shadow work really brings home to me too, that it's the loving of myself, that the ability to accept and embrace and love and forgive, forgive and truly love myself, flaws and all, you know, warts and all, that has brought this really completeness and wholeness and satisfaction. And, you know, the universe is just waiting to reward us for these things, you know, to show us like you're really on the right path. So it opened up all these closed windows because I was still just waiting for me to get this piece about being, you said when you love others and love, you know, show that love through your work. Absolutely. And I think that part was missing for me, of loving myself, to be able to transmit that or communicate that to other people. And being of service, my heart was just, I just want to help people. I just want to be of service. And I think that is so true of conscious entrepreneurs. It's so deeply held in our heart. And to be able to do this in the largest possible way that we can, and, you know, whatever way that is for each person. And when we're somehow not able to do that in the way that we want to, there's sort of a sadness in our heart, I would say. And then this joy opens up the more we're able to really fulfill our true mission.
Yes, and that's interesting because everything you're saying, the way to be successful in business is to love yourself,
right?
To be in joy,
right?
To be of service, all these things we keep hearing over and over, although it's really not that easy.
It is not that easy. You know, I always say whatever is really, really worthwhile is not easy. Otherwise, the breakthrough wouldn't be so awesome. You wouldn't feel that, you know, where you just throw your arms up in the air, that victory feeling of like, I broke through, or did my first webinar. I did it. I'm not a techie. But I think the part about where you said, you know, it's not that easy. I absolutely believe that. And for me, the beauty and the power of working with your shadow to really reclaim all those parts and embrace them and see their beauty and use them in a positive way was that it finally, for me, helped me to overcome this issue that we don't hear a lot about it because it's such a heavy word, but the word is shame. Really what's happened is that the part of the shadow is just whenever we were shamed, disapproved of, not accepted, somehow we fertilize this shame. And there's something wrong with us, so we're afraid to make a mistake, and that plays into our fear to play bigger, our fear to go out and be seen, our fear to go out and be heard or to risk. We're so afraid of making a mistake because we were shamed about it. Then once you work, that shame is not me. It's nothing about me. That is not my true self. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It was shamed upon me for different reasons by people outside of myself.
Well, what I'm getting is your perseverance from the get-go. You had huge obstacles in your path, your dis-ease, which you balanced out and made ease of it. And you did it. You kept moving forward. You didn't stop. You knew there's that inner intuition that women have. And I believe men have it too, and they can tap into it.
Yes.
And by tapping into that intuitive center, which is the heart, which is love and compassion, and showing that compassion for ourselves.
Yes.
Putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first, like they say on the airplane, and do it for ourselves. And then we can be very successful with doing that for others.
Yes. When you were talking about that, it reminded me that's what I was actually going to say about that. Tara Mora's book was, there's two things that I loved that she talked about. And this playing big. And one was identifying when we go into fear. She talks about these two types of fear. The Yiddish language has two names for fear. The first one is pachal. And that, I think, I'm not sure if that's an exact pronunciation, but that's how it seems to me. It describes like our irrational fears, those fears that we got as children when we didn't have an irrational mind that are triggered again into that, stress response, or just irrational worst case scenario kind of thinking that is very, very, very common, more common than the other kind. And then there's what they call yida. That is a different kind of fear. It's actually when the divine is working in your life. You're moving out of your comfort zone. Also, that the divine is visiting you and that you are listening to your inner mentors. Usually when you're in the pachal kind of fear, you're listening to your inner critic. And that inner critic is what we internalize of things that were said and done and felt by us all through life, actually, but especially during children, that we internalize it. And then this inner critic just runs constantly. Oh, you can't do that. That's too big. You're not ready. Oh, people don't want to know what you don't know enough. It's already been done. All those crazy. And then that once you identify this, so is this my inner critic? So you kind of really work with that. Like, who is that inner critic? Where did it come from? And just starting to acknowledge it and not trying to push it away. Just go like, oh, I see my inner critic is talking. And then to develop instead to work on creating an inner mentor is what you're talking about, your inner wisdom. So really getting clear about this. What would my inner mentor say? Inner mentor that was always on my side, always supporting me and cheerleading me on, and to notice when that's happening and the difference and shift it into that. And to distinguish between the just inner critic type of fear without basis to noticing, oh, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is about when I'm sharing my true voice, I'm honoring my dreams, I'm speaking up for myself, that sort of thing. And then say, oh, I can shift that fear into more of an excitement. So anyway, those are some tools that were me. And that's not really the shadow work, but it's very related because it actually is.
I love that. That is, you have that inner voice. So now you've taken it to the next step deeper to recognize, is it your critic that's been programmed into you, or is it your true guidance mentor there to lead you to your highest success? Because, as you said, I believe the divine gets excited when we are being successful in finding our true selves to serve. Definitely. Yeah. Well, Linda, do you have something you want to share with everybody?
Yes, I would love to do that. My website, which has a free gift on it, the free gift is actually the 10 keys to creating health, or 10 keys. It's either creating health or reversing disease. They're both the same, preventative or restorative. It's the 10 top ways to do that. That's the free gift that you can get right on the homepage there. And then too, I have my blog, and my book is on there. The book is also on Amazon.com, and the name of it is Rebuild Your Immune System in 10 Minutes a Day. And it's an 8-week course that you can do in 10 minutes a day to rebuild your immune system and your health through body, mind, soul relationships and movement and nutrition. It's very thorough. It's that brings the whole person in and shows how we create health. It's at Amazon.com, Linda Mercer, or my website is www.10minutewellness.com.
Perfect. There's a show page. The URL is below on the screen that you're looking at now, and that will take you to Linda Mercer's show page. It has her bio. It has links to her information. We'll see if we can get her book on there as well. The way to contact her, if you go to her website, there might be a tab that says contact, so you can contact her there. You may be able to find her on Facebook. Then get in touch with Linda and find out more about how you can shift from being in the dis-ease where you're preventing your success and get into restoring your system so you can do what you are called to do to serve. Linda, this has been incredible, and I'm so glad you're with us here today. Audience, I'm glad you've decided to be with us today as well. I hope you've gotten some inspiration on how to take your business to the next level, or even how to create a life of holistic well-being. That will definitely bring you joy from the heart. Linda, thank you so very much for being here with us today.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. I loved every minute of it, and I very much appreciate your having me on the show.
Have a great day.